So I'm here with Gabby from Seaport Credit. So Gabby, thank you so much for joining us today. I think this is a topic that not a lot of people know about. So how to use your RRSP funds for Canadians who are not in Canada anymore, investing in real estate or in US or anywhere in the world. So why don't we start out with maybe you can tell us what Seaport Credit is all about, and we can take it from there.
Of course. Our company has been on the market for roughly a little bit over 7 years. We're closing in on year number 8. What we do is basically provide assistance for Canadians investing in properties, purchasing properties outside of Canada, in this specific case in US. And what we do is assist them using their RSP funds without the tax penalty that would come with them accessing or tapping into these funds. Okay, we have a very simple and straightforward interaction. What we do is basically we create a collateral RSP with one of the trust companies that we work with, depending on what province they're from. And then in turn, we invest those funds into our mutual fund trust. And instead of actually investing those funds into the stock market, what we do is allow them to have access to those funds for a property purchase anywhere, basically. It can be from a piece of land to a condo, an apartment, a house, anything in between. What we do and the way that we have been handling it directly in the US is for them to create an LLC or LP directly, and then we fund that LP or LLC with a purchase and sell agreement stating that we're doing this specifically for them to be able to purchase that said property. Okay, we do this at essentially 0% of interest, and we have 4 different brackets of 5 years each. Therefore, our clients can be using this financial strategy for 5 years up to 20 years. Okay, we do have 2 one-time fees. That's $2,500 per every $100,000 that they decide to tap into, plus a 5% of lender fees. Now, these fees are actually added onto the loan itself whenever we're starting the transfer, so they don't have to incur into any out-of-pocket costs. Okay, we have the ability of providing them with a payback method of monthly paybacks or annual paybacks. That depends on what actually works directly for the client, as we work on a case-by-case basis. Okay?
Got it. Okay. I think this, maybe to clarify, some people don't know that this is available to them. So is there any, I don't know, maybe qualifications or things like that that you look at before you can actually say, okay, you can qualify, or how does the process kind of like look like?
Initially, when I start speaking with a client, what I do is discuss with them what property and where they're seeking to purchase and what funds they have in their RSPs. Now, as mentioned, what we do is basically provide them assistance for them to tap into the funds that they have within their RSPs. Okay, unfortunately, currently we do not offer any additional funding. So for example, if a client is seeking to purchase a property of $150,000 and they only have $100,000, they would be able to see what they're going to do to come up with the remainder of $50,000. Okay, see, the difference here is that basically what we do is offer assistance for them to tap into their own funds without any tax penalties that they would normally incur into per this specific account. One of the benefits is that even if their retirement savings plan is locked in, we're still able to work with that. Okay, the only funds that we really don't touch are the educational funds for the kids. Outside of that, we're able to offer assistance.
Of course. Okay. So how does somebody, come to you and contact you? What does that look like? Do they have to apply? Because they're Canadians, are they automatically, any Canadian can potentially do this? Maybe if you talk to us a little bit about that, that might help to kind of see if some people actually want to take advantage of it, if they're in the position that they have the funds, right?
Of course. The initial qualifications of requirements are basically an updated statement of the account that they are seeking to use or to tap into, and an ID, because I kind of need to ensure that I'm talking to the account owner. So with both of those documents, we can start discussing what the process looks like and what we could potentially do. If there's any type of movements needed to be made directly into the account, then we would be able to discuss them at that time. As mentioned, basically, we work on a case-by-case basis. I try to work with my clients for them to be able to complete whatever they need to do.
I love that, because personalizing the journey is the way to go, because everybody has different needs. Now, do you need to tap into the funds that you have and take them all completely, or can you still leave some funds there? What does that look like? Is there a limit as to how much you're allowed to take out?
There's no limit, really. We would be able to, what we would do is discuss what their financial needs are, what the funds in their accounts are. They don't need to cash out their whole account. We can do a partial withdrawal if that's what they're seeking to do. And basically, we would work with them onto what amounts they're managing or what amounts they're thinking of taking out, because this is something also important. We ensure that they're not going to be incurred into any financial hardship by doing this. So, we work basically with our clients on a case-by-case basis. So if they need, I don't know, let's say if they need $150,000 and they have 175,000, then we're able to go ahead and do that if they're able to ensure that this is not going to cause them any type of hardship.
Okay, so that's great. I think a lot of us, we work with a lot of Canadians, as you know, and sometimes they don't know that this is available to them because they just don't think about it. It's just one of those things that it's in the back of their mind, and until you tell them, they might say, oh my God, I have some funds that I'm not going to use. I might as well use them for the real estate opportunity that I have now. And you mentioned that you guys are all over the world, and also in the US. Is there any limit or any country that you're not even going into? Or talk to us about types of countries that you've seen with your clients investing in different properties right now, especially because people want to know, as real estate investors, where is the next opportunity? We love the US, but we're talking about global here, so let's get to that.
Yes, of course. Actually, I'm working with a big group in Costa Rica right now. I have different clients in Ecuador, Colombia. I have a specific client in Portugal and Budapest. I mean, basically, we really don't have any limits right now. Fortunately, our company was actually funded by an attorney, a tax attorney that worked directly with the CRA for over 20 years. Therefore, we're able to work with the paperwork. And basically what we do, depending where the client seeks to purchase, we work with the country's laws or requirements for them to be able to comply with that as well.
That's awesome. Is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you, Gabby, that you think it's important for people to know about the process or the funds or anything like that you want to share?
Yes, of course. One thing that I think that it's great about our financial strategy is that as this is not really a mortgage loan, we will never hold any lien against the property. So as soon as we finalize the initial transaction, when we transfer the funds directly to either the seller or the LP or LLC that they will be using for this purchase, they're able to title the property under their company or under their name or anything, and we will never hold any type of lien against the property. So that's good in terms of them personally, sometimes refinancing their own property or something of the sort. We will never be any limitants of that. And for example, as well, since this is kind of a personal loan, one of the things that's never really going to affect is them having this interaction with their credit score, because this is not really, something that's, I don't know, a loan from the bank or something. It's like, a client from 20 years from now will be lending the money to the client from today.
Then I didn't want to miss this live because this is so important. And every single week, we're going to have important topics that people here in the group and everywhere with investing across borders need to know. So I didn't want to cancel this. So my apologies. I'm out of my zone. As you can see,
no, thank you.
And everything. But thank you so much for taking the time. We're going to put the links in the comments so that in case people want to, and I'm sorry, there's people coming into the room right now because clearly I'm not home or at the office.
Not a problem.
But yeah, we're going to put the link in the comments so that we can make sure that if people have any questions, they can contact you. They can use you as a resource. And thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. I even learned a lot about RRSP funds, which obviously we work with Canadians, but we don't know everything. So it's thank you so much for taking the time, and we'll see you next time.
Of course, my pleasure. I'm always available if you have any questions or anyone wants to reach out to me.
Thank you. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.